Hey, what up, everybody? This your main man's Tony. We doing another video. Right now, I wanted to introduce you to a good friend of mine. I've known him since childhood. My main man's William. William, you can introduce yourself.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody out there. My name is William Pritchett. It's a pleasure to meet everyone and to speak right now on this beautiful Sunday. Happy Father's Day to everyone who will celebrate. But furthermore, Tony, good afternoon, my good man. What's going on?
What's good, dog? It's funny how you was stretching your neck out like you was about to go get into some sporting event. That's funny. All you gotta do is discuss some stuff. He's stretching his neck. Oh, okay, that's good. Well,
Man, when you gotta like talk to the people, you gotta like get loose and limber and like be able to like you say flexibly work yourself into every conversation. Not trying to work it, but to understand the person enough to let them go about their day without disrupting what they're trying to do.
exactly.
So,
I'm with that.
you know,
Cool. Today's topic for the people we was gonna talk about knowledge of self. Knowledge of self is many. Um, it's said in many different ways. Knowing yourself, know thyself, self knowledge. Knowledge of self just means simply just knowing who you are as a person. That's something that most people don't, totally understand the grasp of that entirely. When you tell somebody do they know themselves, they probably struggle with that because you never really had to put thought into it. None of us really have. And then growing up, everybody had who they was, but then they was shunned about what they was doing or who they was growing up, or you was bullied into not being who you was. Your parents didn't like what you was doing or who you was involved with as a kid. You let your insecurities get the best of you because other people was insecure about themselves. So a lot of people lost their identity. It's more so it's dropping what people told you who you were and becoming who you were meant to be pretty much. You know what I'm saying? To master your own destiny and really truly knowing who you are, what you like, what you love doing, what you're passionate about, who you are as a person, and then you build a lot of self-confidence and self-worth when you know who you are as a person and you know yourself. You have knowledge of self. That's an ancient saying that goes back into many civilizations. Anybody can do your own research. You should look that up. And William, did you want to chime in on that before I start digging deep into that?
well, I can say that you are right on everything that you were speaking about, but like my own opinion about it, my way of looking about it, every ancestor, every person that came across somebody that you've known, whether it be your dad, your granddad, your auntie, your uncle, your mom, your dad, I just said that again, but it could be like close to you, however they may come into your life. It's like every ripple has its own little shape to it. It could be a quick flash, it could be a high jump, it could be one that could just have many more like producing on its own. You never know what could happen because it's not controlled. What is controlled is what you do with what you are given with. Anything can happen, but the decisions that we make are our own. And with that coming into play of being yourself, just being right by yourself, it actually ensure much better things actually like happen. Just don't really focus on what others want, focus more on what you want and you're good.
This is
I
true.
mean, that's what I
Go ahead, bro. My bad.
no, 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 no. I was done right there. Like I was leaving it to you now. This is
Yeah,
your show.
because because like you were saying, it's ultimately up to you. And as a kid, you look for other people to help guide you. But when the people that are guiding you, they don't necessarily know themselves. Like you said, it could be a ripple down effect, but that's not in your control. Only thing you can control is your actions and your what you do with the information people give and actions towards you. So it's something that the people who do have self knowledge or knowledge of self and they know who they are, those people should really help teach the youth because the youth are the future. Everybody's the future, but especially the youth. And knowledge of self, I wrote this down too. Knowledge of self answers a couple of questions. I wrote down just a few. It answers questions like who am I, what is my purpose? Because a lot of people think that they have to find their purpose. Me personally, I believe you create your own purpose. You create your own. I feel like because you have everything around you. Essentially, you were given everything by your creator, whoever you want to think how you got here, right? Nobody knows anything. So it's best that you discover who you are. And when you discover who you are, you find out what you like. And then you could just manifest what you want. You can create the purpose you have. Everybody has a path, but nobody knows the path because they're too busy trying to be like other people instead of being like themselves, right? And then it's, do I love myself? How do I love myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I being true to myself? Because everybody self-reflects when they go to sleep. At least for the most part, most people self-reflect before they go to sleep. They recap the day. They recap conversations, or why did I do that? Or why did I let this person treat me like this today? Right? People self-reflect, right? Because people only allow people to treat them just not as bad as they treat themselves. Like, I think I told you this. I'll let you treat me bad, but once you start treating me worse than I treat me, no, buddy. Mm-mm. See, that's because people mentally beat themselves up. And if you have a love for yourself, you don't allow people to come at you no funny way. Because ultimately you let people treat you how you love yourself. So people treating you like crap, you love yourself like crap because you wouldn't let nobody treat you bad if you knew your worth, if you knew your value, you wouldn't let it happen. Right? You'll ask questions like, what am I seeking and what is life? What is my place? How can I help other people? Questions like that is like knowledge of self. You're aware of yourself. Like a lot of people say, and this is very controversial, but I stand by this. They say you gotta put God first. I say if you believe in God, you put God last. You come first because once you understand yourself, you understand what this God essence or being or whatever that is. You understand what that means for you, but you can't put that person first, that thing first before you, because if you do that, you're bound to be controlled. That's some conqueror stuff, because most people only understand God from how other people told them how to understand God. But for you, if you know who you are, you know yourself, and if you choose to believe in God, you will understand God in the way that's most beneficial to you, that harms nobody, that everybody can prosper in your reality of understanding things. That's why I say you put yourself first. Understand yourself, love yourself first. Because William, if you love yourself, bro, people gonna treat you how you love you, and then they gonna learn how to love themselves. It's a people watch your actions, not so much your words. So if you love yourself, it's a beautiful thing for people to witness. But so many people don't love themselves, and when they see somebody loving themselves, they want to kind of test you. Like William, if I see you out here really walking and living how you really want to live your life, and I see you love yourself, a lot of people gonna test you, bro. Cause they gonna be like, there's something not genuine about this dude. So they gonna come at you all funny style, trying to test to see if you really love yourself. So that's when you gotta know who you are, and you gotta really prove them wrong. You want to chime in?
Actually, yeah, because that's actually like a form of not only like mental abuse, you know what I mean, but that goes upon the actual aspect of being who you are, being in the society that we are in, and speaking how we have like no type of fear now. It's like we don't really see everything that we came across, everything that has happened, everything that we need to build, we need to rebuild, we need to like actually construct, you know what I mean? We're not really constructing nothing if we're doing everything opposite of what we're like talking about. We're saying that we want all the great things, but we're spending all the money on the people who are destroying us from the inside. You got the same people who's giving you your groceries, giving you the crack. Like, I don't understand. It's put on your TVs, it's shown in your faces, but you believe in a different power to like give you your answers. If there's a person on earth that tells you the answers, there has been moguls there has been literally influential people, people that have came and that have gone, that have told you, Pete, game, these niggas are trying to kill you. Do what you got to do and get out. Do what you got to do and survive. But more importantly, get what you got to get and grow. We're not growing if we're doing the same thing that we were doing yesterday, that we were complaining about yesterday.
Yeah,
You know?
it has a lot to do with clarity, bro. Like you have to seek clarity and be and self aware so you can understand what people try to put you on. Like if
Right.
if you're giving me some vital information, I have to really know myself in order to apply the information that you're giving me, in order to really be self-aware and to really understand where you're coming from when it comes to how I can improve my life and the people around me's life. If I'm not knowledgeable of myself and how I feel, I really can't apply the information you give me. How can I really um, utilize the information you just gave me to benefit myself if I truly don't know my place, bro? Like, and I'm
Right.
not, and I don't, and
You know.
when I say know my place, I don't mean as in like beneath anybody or inferior. I mean know my place within the whole reality of life. What is life? What's the universe? What's my place? What's my purpose? And once I know that, then
Right.
I can take the information that you're giving me to help me, because everything is about helping each other, benefiting each other. But most people don't look out for other people, because since they don't know themselves, they don't look out for other people, because everybody's connected. Everybody's connected. That's how it's supposed
Right.
to be. That's how it is. But most people don't look at it that way. So when people put people on game, bro, it goes through one ear, not the other, out the other, because most people don't know how to apply it to their lives because they're still searching for who they are.
Well, the whole thing about searching for yourself, man, you got to like literally look into revolve around self, not only how you eat, not only what you watch, it's also what you do. Like, how do you move your body? How do you walk outside the house? What would you do if you really only had $20 to your name and a whole city to yourself? What would you do? Like, what would you do in a time of like dire need of you trying to get from one place to another place? You know what I mean? And somebody wasn't there. You know what I mean? Deep things, soft things, hard things. You know what I mean? Things that are like at the surface, like cool shit, like just everything. If you don't think about everything that revolves around self and then see how that applies to you, you know what I mean, you won't actually have that clarity. You know, you gotta like see everything that you are and everything that you are not, things that you like and things that you don't like.
Yeah,
Because
and to do that, you have to make time for yourself
right,
to think. You have to sit down. Like, I'm not a big friend of religion, but prayer and meditation are ways to help people think. Now, I'm not saying what the source they're getting this all the information from. I'm not arguing that. My point is that people need to think more for yourself. Really meditate. Clear your mind. Clear, originate your own thoughts and opinions on matters. Because when you really start to think, then you start piecing stuff together. You can start connecting dots when you think for yourself. And what's my place? What does this situation mean to me compared to that situation mean to me? Right? How do I feel about
right,
that? How does my friend feel about that? How can I feel it to my friend's opinion? And when you start connecting things, then you could really place yourself in an understanding that benefits you. You know what I'm saying? Like how you were saying, a lot of times people have to make time to think, bro. Like, but how life is set up, bro, is very fast paced, bro. People don't really. It's not promoted to take time for yourself, for self care. You know, like to recall how you're feeling about a situation. It's not. It's not praised to really be healthy mentally and emotionally. Because I tell people, if you gotta cry, cry, bro. I mean, don't cry about everything. Don't be a crybaby, but you have to still be genuine with yourself, bro. Like, if you want to cry, bro, you gotta cry. This is your life, bro. Get that out of you, bro. Don't hold that inside. Know yourself. Know your emotional limits. Make yourself mentally stronger. But we don't promote that type of healthiness. That should be uh there's something that's the norm now, because a lot of people are hurting mentally and psychologically and all that. And I feel like that should be promoted rather than telling people to suck it up, stop being crybabies, you know. Because a lot of people they bottle all that stuff up, bro, and then they up and explode on you, bro. Like, all you do is accidentally step on a dude's shoe and he about to fight you. That's because dude been holding all this anger for the longest months, years, when instead of just letting it out. Because it's easier to just, if somebody like tick you off, to say, to kindly address it and let it go and just never let it bother you, bro. But you start bottling that stuff in, then you can't think straight, bro. Because you always focused on how angry you are, how crazy you are. I'm so crazy. I swear to God. Why is that praise? Why is it praise to be not um to not have clarity in the mind, to not really be at peace? That's not promoted in our society. In our society, we should promote people being at peace and one with themselves and nature and other people around them. It's not it's not praise for people to have good mental states, bro. Is what I'm trying to get at. And there's a reason for that. It's a reason why they promote people to do drugs and to stay sex crazy, because sex is amazing, but don't be sex crazy. You ain't gotta do alcohol all the time. You ain't gotta do all the stuff that really gets your mind off who you are, bro. Because when you start doing all that stuff, you really start to create huge voids in your life, bro. Like we all have problems, and we all have addictions. Addictions come in many ways and all type of things. So we rather run to these addictions rather than face our real problems, bro. Like people have legit problems. We have anger issues. People are shy when they really don't want to be shy, but they're shy. They're scared to talk to people. They let their insecurities get the best of them. They hate their boss because their boss is a jerk. They have like um people have bad social cues and social interactions, but really want to get better, but they can't. People have drinking problems. People have sex problems. People have anger issues. They hate themselves, hate other people, all type of things. Porn, all stuff that we really struggle with, and we really do genuinely want to do. What'd you say?
I was saying, man, it's a quote that, someone said, I forgot who it was. You would probably hear anybody say this now, but everybody has a vice. No vice is better than another. You know, with every sin, there is no sin that's better than another. You know what I mean? Like that quote right there, in the way that you were speaking everything out, it's like the tangibility and the connective like thought of how it like makes us do everything. It's like when you put every piece to a puzzle together, you start to see the big picture. And lately, I've been trying to put pieces together that actually makes a picture that is like worth more than like a few words. You know what I mean? It's like literally there, and it's the biggest thought that you could possibly think. You know what I mean? It's your life. Why would you want to sell it so short? Why would you want someone to try to take control of you and take control of it? What did you do in order to deserve this? What about your life is so great or not that much great for you to treat it the way you do? Because you have some people that are like do it and take so much care of it, but don't know what they're doing. Sometimes is actually harming them more than it's like helping them. Then you got those that just don't care to the point where like they'll say anything will happen and they don't care. Like it's just God's hands. But really, you could have done everything that you had to change it. If God had answers for you to make the problem go away, why did you keep feeding yourself more of the problem, not the answer?
And that has to do
Dang,
with
golly, you just basically sold yourself to the devil right there. Like you basically said, you know what, nigga, just take me. I don't feel like being here. Just take
because
me. Take off
it
take
has a lot with us being like
me.
in our society, bro. It's promoted that we be weak spirited. It's promoted to be weak spirited, bro. Like there's so many things that out there that don't tell you to really fully embrace who you are, and just there's not enough of encouraging uh, problem solving within ourselves or within the community. We don't have that those uplifting stories of inspiration, bro. All the stories have to really do with all the repetitive stories have to do with feeling bad for yourself or quick fixes, bro. Quick fixes are a huge problem. A lot of people's problems you can't get rid of in a day. You can't fix an anger issue in a day. You can't fix a bad habit in a day, bro. Like that take time. Like we indulge in bad habits, right? And that's just the human part in us, bro. Whether it's intentional or not intentional, we do it. It happens. We just gotta um really want to change, bro. Because everybody got their demons, but
Yeah,
I feel like that's part of the whole journey of getting to know yourself is to really accept the situation you in, good or bad, and make it better. And then always paint it like put the pieces to the puzzle of your life, and but paint it in a beautiful, truthful way, bro, not in something that's like negative. Because negativity does run the world, but I feel like that can change, bro. People just gotta want. They have to want more. They shouldn't just settle. They shouldn't just settle. And I feel like a lot of people's belief systems limit them, bro. Like their belief system limits you. I was born this way. I can't be better than this. Eliminate that belief system. And then if you are the person who's able to eliminate that belief system for yourself, you should help as many people as you can to so they can see the understanding you got. But if they're not trying to understand, you need to say peace, because you can't waste your life helping somebody who don't want to be helped, bro. Like, that's facts, bro. Like, you can help as many people as you want, but but there will be some people who just won't get it, bro. Like Harriet Tubman says, she saved thousands of slaves, and she would have saved more if they knew they were slaves. You have to know
Right.
yourself. You have to know your situation, and you really have to understand the reality around you and your place in it in order to help yourself. Because I'll be stupid to help somebody 100 times and they don't do nothing. I'll be stupid to even let it get that high in the first place. And then you have to realize a lot of people, the people that you will eventually change their lives and help them do better, it's not really your words that change them. It's your actions. Actions are only, I mean, words are only supposed to complement your actions, and just a little bit of words supposed to complement your actions. And that's the truth, bro. Like, when people change your life with their words, for the most part, it's something bad, bro. They change your life for the worse. They don't change your life for the better. And if
Right.
they, and that's just if you had to pick for every time somebody says something, did it change your life? Was it for the best, better, or for the negative? Usually it's the negative is what I'm getting at. But when the people change your life for the better with their words, it wasn't just their words; it was their actions, bro. And they use like, okay, this person's owning something. Let me get to see what they're doing. Let me find out their habits, because I want to change my life too. And then you'll eventually change your whole scope of understanding things, bro. Like, it's crazy what the trickle down effect could be when people really want to be something great in life, when they aspire to be greatness, when they aspire for greatness. Because a lot of people really do desire to be great. They do. Even a lot of older people desire to be great, but you have to give people aspirations. They have to see, people legit have to see results, bro. Like, when
Right.
people say, when I say I love myself, I can't say I love myself, but be doing the same stuff they doing, and their life is terrible, and I'm not seeing results for my own self. I can't just say I love myself. I have to prove to people with action, bro. That's the thing that changed people mind with 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 tremendous results that people can see, tangible results. People can touch and feel like this man knows something, this woman knows something. And people they latch to that. You had to say something. You was looking like you had to say something.
I was, but I was going to let you finish because like you was going with everything that I was about to say. You know what I mean? I didn't want to stop you. You know.
Oh
Um,
no, like, cause I was gonna say, it's to people who are spiritual. It's a spiritual thing, and it's a psychological thing too. But like, all this makes sense in the sense of reality and what nature is and what is natural. Believing in yourself should be your first and number one belief ever. To
right.
love yourself and believe it. That's what we should teach the people when they're young kids. And then you don't have to fix an adult who's already perfect. You already told them how to thrive in life. You gave them the key to life. But people they don't know that. And then it gets harder to understand when you get older. Because people, I mean, yeah, we've been bred to want things real quick, like this. Instead of just realizing that things take time, bro. It takes time for people to fall in love. All the positive stuff, at least, it takes time to build, bro. But all the negative stuff come like this. You can get fired like this. You can get killed like this. Get your job burnt down like this. Wife cheat on you like this. I mean, it's more like a when your wife or somebody cheat on you. That they works for that. But the negative stuff happen quicker, and the positive stuff it takes longer to develop, because when you develop in that time in that time frame of everything manifestation, whatever you say the word manifesting, you grow gratitude toward that situation. You grow appreciative of what you're undergoing. You can't you can't take away from that situation and not say that what you underwent was not a beautiful situation, because what you learn in that process, that time of gratitude before you get what you got, you can't get that from anything else. You can't. Time teaches people a lot of things, and that is one of the things that you have to undergo. You have to go through that period of appreciating something. It takes time. It takes time to fully understand what's ahead of you. Like, I don't know, it's a beautiful topic to talk about. Like, self knowledge. I mean, knowledge of self and knowing yourself it's not a timetable that is set. Everybody, you know, has their own timetable. Somebody can find out who they are relatively quick to somebody else who's been indoctrinated, lied to for all their life. You know, when the younger you are, probably the easier it is to know yourself. That's just me. I don't know. I'm probably ignorant on that statement right there, but I feel like everybody's timetable on knowing themselves is so different, bro. And it's all about experience. It's not. It has not so much to do with how old you are. So I do take that back. It has to do with your interpretation of your experiences, and then what you want out of life is a lot of the factors in knowing yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, honestly, I can say that because of how I grew up. Like, I wasn't always in the best predicaments with the best people, but I was always around somebody that I knew that wasn't going to be on something around me because I knew that I could handle myself. You know, I may be intimidated. I may not be intimidating at first look, but you know, I always have to learn to protect myself because there are people in the world who want to take me for more than what I am. You know, there are things in the world that are darker than what people are able to like understand. There are things that are like more gruesome than what people will actually comprehend. Like, say for instance, people don't believe this, but there are places in the world where they actually like just take black people and just like use them for their bones and their blood and their meat because they're
Oh,
expensive.
oh
The
yeah.
black market,
Oh, we ain't gonna get too deep
melanin.
into
You
that.
know, they take
That's another video. That's another video, dog. Yeah.
just for like that understanding, right? Understanding myself. You know, it's like I have to protect myself at the same time. I have to understand that there's no way that you can handle any situation besides in a non-hostile like form. You know, you got to actually talk to the person, be non-verbal with your reaction and with the discussion because the more negative of a outlook that you look at it, you know what I mean, the more negative you put into it. When you're yelling, when you're screaming, when you're trying to put your fist in their face, when you're like tossing your hands back and forth, you know what I mean, you're giving them more than what you technically need to give them. You know, just tell them straight up, what's really the problem, and tell them straight up like, yo, man, if you're really trying to do this shit, trying to get it like this, man, let me tell you one way you can do it. Now take this right here and just tweak it. This is like how the old people did it, man. This is like old, like primo motherfucking, like straight out the dish type shit, man. This is the first edition, like lesson right here. You know, if you know an ancestor that taught you something, you know it, and it helps you stay in business. It helps you give your business a big boost, and this could be anything. Like my granddad used to always say, it takes 24 hours to mind your own business and a whole week to have your own. Really, to make your own. I always say to have your own because I'm always original on one point or another. That was another. You know,
That
I
makes
just
sense, bro. I mean, you do have to mind your own business. That should be a slogan for
yeah,
2016. Mind your own business. It take 24 hours to mind your own business. And do, bro, because it's hard not to gossip. It's hard, but that's something that you will learn that's not cool. That's never cool. Because if somebody will gossip to you, that means they'll gossip about you.
right. You know what I mean. But like that right there, it tying back into what you're saying though. It's like when you give the best of you in the best form and fashion. That's with everything. You create more than what you were like expected to create. And when you create something better, you make yourself look better. I'm not trying to make it sound super intelligent, super spiritual,
No,
but this is
that's the truth, bro.
right. You know what I mean? It's just that that's the point right there. Like people trying to look for more than what it is, and it's really just the simplicities in life. You take the simplicity of it and add more simplicity to it, you get a big simplified manner. You have $2, right? But then you say $5 to that $2. Now from that $5 and that $2, you got $10. You put that all together, and then you got $20 more that you put to it. Now from the $20, you find out you have $100 more that you just got. Now this is your first 100 that you got. You put that 100 with that, little amount that you already got right there. Now from there, you got another 200 that's coming in every single month because you working. You know what I mean? And with this money, you just stacking it up. And you putting off to the side. Sooner or later, you're gonna have a big motherfucking pile. You just keep doing that same pattern. If you practice what you're preaching, you do what you're saying, man, you're making your life 10 times better by actually making yourself 10 times better, doing what you need to do.
Yeah,
Don't be sitting around trying to fuck around and say, I want some like real shit. You're not.
yeah.
You make yourself look bad.
It's the
You make yourself look real,
it's the
you know.
it's
Has
the
their own struggle. You can't really judge them off of what their struggle really is. Nobody has a struggle that's better than someone else's. You may
this is
have a
true.
struggle, but you have to help you. This person has a struggle, but they have nobody to help them. Now you may be looking good, but this man is doing this shit by himself.
Yeah, it's different standards and measurements on everybody's predicament. You know what I'm saying? And then you can
Right,
however you want to judge it can make either or look better.
right. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It's how they use it. And we're talking about the negative state of mind attacking the positive state of mind, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to make sure that we like still on the same
Oh
subject,
no,
or
we are,
like I'm
bro.
thinking of,
We are. Is we are because
you know what I mean?
a lot of people's their view on other people's situation can be slanted, and it can be slanted in a like a heinous or a negative light, which will put that other person's situation beneath theirs when they realize that you shouldn't even be judging your situation with somebody else's situation because everybody's is different and still unique, right? And that's something that a lot of people need to get off that mindset of mine's versus yours and yours, and how mine is better, but
Right,
it's not even that. That should never be the battle. I mean, that's something that was taught to society as a whole. But we are society, so I feel like that whole mindset needs to be shifted. And because people need to realize nobody's good and nobody's bad. You could be good one day and
right,
bad one day. Even Hitler had. Even some people looked at Hitler as a good person. He still had family. He still loved animals. He still loved a lot of motherfuckers. People looked at him as a good person, but a lot of other people look at him that way. Because to some people, William, you could be this way. To other people, you could be that way. It go both ways. Nobody's good. Nobody's bad. That's the whole yin yang thing. That's the whole balance. And you don't want it to. And you don't want to, um, you know, have your negativity be more than your positivity. I mean, but it's still human that everybody still is negative. You still human to be positive. Like you still have thoughts. We don't know where these thoughts come from, but you still have thoughts, and you either master your thoughts or you don't. You either act on your thoughts or you don't. So you, it's a beautiful thing, and it's all about people give different interpretations but mean the same thing. Like a lot of people say yin and yang. You got God and the devil. You got the higher self and the lower self. They all the same thing. They explain differently, but it's the same experience, right? So it's just people have over the whole wolf and something else. The wolf and like the lion. I don't know. It's all the same. The same experience told different ways, meaning that you have to control you. You have to be the master of you. You have to know yourself. You have to know your limits. You have to know what is not good for you. You have to know like, yeah, yeah, I love dwelling in this, but every time I dwell in this, it always turned out bad. Or every time I go hang out with Jim always get jacked up and we both get in trouble. You got to know yourself. Because once you are the master of your destiny, the master of your own life, you don't allow yourself to be put in situations that can hinder your progress, your progression in life. It just won't happen. Um, it's something that most people need to realize. They need to be self-aware of their intentions and whatever they got going spiritually. You need to always be aware of that. And it's like it's a difference between being aware and being conscious. It's like I think I told you, it's like when you get chased by a bear, you're aware of all the trees, all the stumps, all the stuff you got to jump through and jump over and all that. You're aware, but you're conscious that I could die at any time. I can die. I can trip and die. Like that's the difference between being aware and being conscious. But you just have to understand that this person that you're comparing your life to is you, bro. Is you. Because how you judge other people is technically how you speak on yourself. How you feel about yourself is when you speak on other people. Boy, that motherfucker ugly. So what you're saying is you feel insecure about something. you don't feel too secure with your self look. And so you gotta put somebody else down. Because when you put somebody else on, you talk bad about somebody, you're not talking about them. You only reveal that huge problem you got going within your own life. And that's just the truth. Go ahead, dog. My
Right.
bad.
No, man, it's all good because like it's all on the same subject. You know, we still talking about the same deal, and that's another portion of subjugative abuse. You know what I mean? You do not tell people shit that you want to be told to yourself. Treat thy neighbor as I treat myself. If you can't
Hey,
even I
hey,
live by
hey.
this shit today,
But hey, in order for
that's
people to, you said they had to treat their neighbor how they treat themselves. People treat themselves like shit, bro. People treat themselves like shit. So, so they treat their neighbor like shit.
you know what I mean? You treat your neighbor like shit. You treat yourself like shit. If you look at yourself like a bitch, you look at that bitch like a bitch. If you treat yourself like a nigga, you gonna look at that nigga like a nigga. If I treat you like a king, I'm treating myself like a king. If I treat you like a queen, I treat my queen like a queen.
He said
You know what I mean?
he was about to call himself a queen. I'll treat myself like a queen.
If you put in what you put out, my dude. If you put your
That's
dick in, your
yeah.
dick come out, right? I don't never knew a nigga who put a dick inside of a pussy, right? And it came out of a vagina. I'm like, when you tell me some shit like that to happen, just tell me so I can stay away from that bitch. I'm just gonna get
She got something. That's the devil. Yeah,
exactly.
bro. That's that. That's that. People really need to understand that, bro. Like,
You know what I mean? You just gotta like really into you. Just like you said, man. You gotta be really like into. You gotta be really in tune to what you're trying to do, and without actually having that doubt to actually hold you back. Without a
so
doubt, you know what I mean, is more than just a phrase, a word, and would you say an African verb? You know what I mean?
yeah. Tell me this.
It's not,
For the, you said what?
it's not just a proverb, man. It's life. It's a way of life. You
Yeah.
can't just
So look,
live
tell me
without.
this. How can a person? How can a person, in simple and lamest terms, bro? How can a person start to work toward finding out who they are?
Yeah, I hear. Okay.
Way of Lane's been a way of figuring out how to find yourself. Lane's
I know. I'm talking to him.
first thing you gotta do is find the one characteristic that is important to you.
You
What
said
makes
what to you? What you said?
like
What makes you?
outspoken? What makes you you? Outspoken, like say I'm I'm always cautious. You know what I mean? I always gotta like think about what's gonna happen if I go this way or that way. Know exactly is this really what I want to do? I mean, 'cause, like it's the same thing as what I'm trying to eat. That's how I choose how I'm trying to eat my food. You know, I really feel like eating something sweet. I feel like eating something bitter. Do I want something sour? Do I want something earthy? Like, do I really want to taste something that kind of like tastes a little portion to like a red clay? Kind of miss the red clay, but that's besides the point. But do I want to taste something that's along the lines of like coconut sugar with some palm sugar, or just taste like some Captain Crunch or some cinnamon toast crunch? You know what I mean? Like some food that make you taste that. You know what I mean? Kind of feel, and that's possible too. Spiciness is really like where it's at though, because heat is what gives you like the thought process to like go about life anyway. Heat is what makes life.
The sun.
That like yeah, see that's me like intriguing. That's me like trying to like intrigue others into like knowing thyself because that's how I knew myself. Each portion of cooking, each portion of food and spice of taste, it has its own way in life. Think about it. Tell me one person inside each food group, and I bet you just proved yourself that anything is possible if you put your right mind to it. You can't tell me you don't know a chick that's like down to earth. You can't tell me you don't know a chick that's hot as hell. You don't even know what you're about to say about the sweetest woman you ever met in your life. Or the sourest mother. Oh my lord. This child right here, she is so doggone sour.
Hey,
Why?
bro, bro, you drifting off topic, bro.
That's like me like giving out like the examples though. At the same time, me like trying not to drift off topic, but like Seriously, that's like all inside the same thing, man. Like I know that I have a way of interacting with each group, and with my interaction with each one, I know I need to learn something about life that actually makes me entire myself into that person. Because there are some people who could be like a little chick to a classy chick. That's like, what I've always had to learn when I grew up. But I learned that there is much more besides that. There are some that are like more proper.
Bro,
There are some that are like less.
you going into how to interact with women, bro.
No, man. About personalities, man. But I'm telling you from a man perspective on how I see it. But see, on the other hand, there are guys that are different too. You got some guys who are really in tune on how they're trying to look for others. You got some who are just trying to be entirely feministic about their ways. You got others who are trying to like literally share what they know and not be called a fucking idiot by everybody in life. Excuse my language, by the way, everybody. I know it's like 30 minutes inside the conversation and I'm like not doing apologies, but there's probably kids around. I don't need kids sitting back talking about mommy, what's that word? I don't want y'all to be wondering. Apologies on me. Back to the topic at hand. We are still sinking ourselves inside of the thought of really knowing if we are of the same portion of our families or not. You know what I mean? Because that's our number one portion. Really know yourself within and without your family. Know yourself within and without your friends, within and without yourself. Some people were like, some people don't really like see it as a means of being serious, but when Native Americans or Indians or the tribesmen of the Aboriginal nation of North America were of their proper respects, they went on spiritual trips for a reason. Those spiritual trips were means of actually looking upon thyself, seeing thyself for who I am. They had animals to guide them because each animal, in a way of speaking, is of a comfort and a warning state, or of a higher or a lower manner. Everything has its own means of working. Even an ant has a means of moving life, and don't nobody has the right to stop it. That goes inside Buddhism, but that's like two different languages. That's two different cultures. That's two different religions. How can two different means have like two different ways of working but still work together inside life? Because it's all human like nature. This is human nature is what you think and what you put in life. If you think that religion is going to control you, then that's what's going to control you. You think you control yourself, you're going to control yourself.
Yeah, that has to come with that. That comes in time.
Right. You know what I mean? You got to. That's why practice makes perfect. You know what I mean? That's why I said it the entire time. Practice makes perfect. You have to practice on making yourself better. Nobody can gain. Nobody can gain an A-star game without practicing day and night.
Yeah, yeah, this is true. They have to come to this. Tell me how they can.
Right.
Tell me how a person, and without the examples, bro, because you love examples. Tell me how a person.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me how a person, and either a little amount of steps, or just simply put, how can a person know if they have knowledge of self, and if they don't have it, how can they get it?
How do you know you have knowledge of self? When you know that when you wake up, you know that you're not about to go into some bullshit. You peep the bullshit out, and you're not about to get fooled by it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's how you know that you actually are having knowledge of self. If you don't have knowledge of self, look into that. Really look into that statement. Look into that. Look into that saying. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Why was that ever made? Think about every saying that your grandparents ever told you. Think of everything that's ever affected you in life. What you learned inside school. What you affect yourself with when you're around the people that you're with. What did you do today, tomorrow, and yesterday?
So you would say the answer to um, undergoing and finally having self knowledge or knowledge of self would be self reflecting and being able to apply it, that whatever you get from it.
Yeah. Because, like, that's how And I hate to use this as an example, but like for a way of speaking that's like tangibly like shown, the Egyptian nation had every single god and goddess that was actually attributed to the body. Like every single god and goddess is attributed to the body.
Yeah,
You can find it and we can like talk about it then, but that's a different topic. You know, we
and that's
have
good.
we have like other nations out there. We have like cultures that we barely even like ass tattoo and even like realize was there in the past and here right now
Hey, but
that
again,
like
that's another
contributes
conversation, bro. Because
what we
that's
have in
all that was intentional. All that's intentional. Why we don't know. All that was
right
that's
to keep
intentional.
us to keep us right to keep us
Yeah,
awake.
and like that's another topic though. I'm down to have that one too. And but yeah,
You know,
with more information, you can add on to what you're reflecting on. Because
right,
you have to realize most people don't know they don't know. You don't know you
right. They
misinformed. You
got
don't know you uninformed. So you don't know that you don't know something that's vital to you. I, most people don't know the importance on why Kemet / Egypt is important to to Africans or black people, melanated people. They don't know because it's a new way of life. It's telling you that there's something else out there that you're not being told. This because the truth is being hidden. People are misinformed. When you're misinformed, it's hard for you to really build on a false foundation. So when you have the truth, you can build on the foundation and you can find yourself. You can see yourself in that. And that helps bring information on to what you're trying to build on top of already. When you get new information, you can build on that and you can place that knowledge of importance somewhere in your mind to apply to yourself and your self growth. But
mm-hmm.
most people don't know they don't know, bro. You don't know that you're being exploited. You don't know that your thinking now was well orchestrated way before you were even born. You don't know that everything in your life and all the struggles you going through were already intended for you to happen. It was intended for black people to be in ghettos around liquor stores, gun shops, food
Right,
deserts, terrible education, all that, to hate ourselves and hate one another and our culture, and to really be some subservient slave ass motherfucker. That's is intentional, but you don't know that that was placed on us. You don't know. So since you don't know, you're not building to be greater mentally, spiritually as a person in reality. You don't know. But when you start seeing other things that contradict what you were taught, you start to question things.
yeah,
You start to question your place, your friends. You start to question the whole reality, this whole matrix. You question that, and when you question it, you self-reflect. You gain knowledge from that, and you gain
yeah,
perspective. Perspective, and in this journey, it's only gonna be you. Because while you trying to better yourself, because knowledge of self is simply put, it's just you bettering yourself. It's not to put anybody else down, but you're bettering yourself. You're taking your life serious. And then when you take your life serious, you're going to ask other people, and they're not going to have no idea what you're talking about. That's simply put. When you undergo this new perspective of life and how you love yourself and how you take care of yourself and what you want to be in life, you'll realize there are a lot of people who just don't understand where you're coming from, right?
right,
And that's just some of the things that people have to deal with. This knowledge of self is a lonely road, and you'll lose friends, but it's whatever. Because in the end, you have yourself. Most people don't even have
right,
themselves to start off with. You just have a bunch of void people around you who don't know who they are.
right,
Need to, we all need to strive to be a person of substance, and then we can help our friends be people of substance. So we can be around people of substance, people that can create. Because your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions. Supposed to, and then your actions become your habits, and your habits become your destination. But if I control your thinking, I control your destination. If I control your thinking, I control your destination. I control what you're gonna be in life. I control
right,
that. So if I tell some people they some slaves, they inferior, they ain't no good, they ugly, everything about them is ugly. God messed up when He made them. I already control them. I ain't got to say nothing else. All they do is make sure I put it on repeat so they can hear it every day, all day, and they ain't gonna be nothing.
Right.
And they gonna hate people who challenge the status quo. They gonna hate people who go against what they're being told. And self-knowledge is knowing that there's a greater purpose. No matter how great you get, there's always something greater. You gotta always keep striving for it. You gotta bring as many people as you can with you. But it's always knowing that there's something greater, and you have to always keep progressing without destroying the things that are behind you, without destroying the things that you no longer agree with or are around. You don't have to destroy nature as you prosper as a human being. You don't have to destroy nature as you empower the people around you and empower the community and build empires and nations. You don't have to destroy nothing. People need to realize that.
Yeah. Like,
So, did you have any last words you want to chime in on?
well, lastly, I just want to say, like, with that and just making it plain and simple, even with everything we spoke about, even everything that we talked about, if a person does not want knowledge of self, you can't force them.
You
That's
can't.
the number one. You cannot force nobody. If you don't want to learn about yourself and better yourself, don't try to ask questions that you're just doing for curiosity. Because remember that the curiosity killed the cat. So basically saying curiosity kills everything that makes life like life safe. You're
Yeah,
curing
if you're not, yeah, you have to really, and if you're gonna be curious, you have to understand. You have to sign off on what you
right.
get yourself into. Sign off.
Like really be inside of what you're trying to do, man. Don't just say that I want to do this just because I want to do it. Like because you want to do this. Like don't do that. You're gonna make yourself worse. You make yourself feel worse. You'll make yourself look worse. You're gonna be a like lower person than what you started yourself out to be. Actually be the bearer of better news. You know what I mean? That's something that nobody ever says, or like you barely hear. I'm the bearer of better news. Like, I want to come around and say something that'll make your day so much better, because I know what it's like to feel the way it would be if everything was a lie to me. Like everything is smoke and mirrors. Like if you seen the interview, you know what I mean, when a reporter went over and you saw everything for what it really was, instead of for what it came out to be. Like, oh, this is beautiful. No, yeah. See, if you just go and see it, I probably like this is spoiler, but whatever. I don't care. It's a movie. It's been out for years. You should have been saw it. Shame on you.
What's it called?
The interview. It was a
It
Seth
sound
Rogen
familiar.
film.
Was that the one that just came out?
No, well, it
A
didn't
couple
just
years
come
ago?
out a year or two ago.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
A reporter going across to North Korea
Yep, I
to
heard about
have a interview with Kim Jong Un, which is pretty fucking funny. Because I've been reading reports about Kim Jong Un being dead by a exposure by an explosion happening from a suicide bomber who was quote unquote a beautiful woman by a man who spoke in an interview with North Korean news. I don't know if it's true or not, but so far it's been a closed kind of like ordeal. At this point, it's just like rumors, but if that's possibly happened, it's another form of what you say, um, hidden messaging. You know what I mean?
it. Yeah.
Never clear out that the devil is not amongst us. The devil walks in man's shoes.
Once you find out the devil is man. Ha ha ha
Right.
ha.
But that's like on your own like time and your own like spiritual trip. You know what I mean? That's you. But that's me though. That's me trying to give a little bit of me to you. Yada yada. Thank you everybody. Tony, I leave this to you.
Oh man, no problem. I really appreciate you chiming in on this because the topic is of importance to many people. You can't move people if they don't have knowledge of self. So I before I would take off with comedy, or if I ever joined any liberating situation, I always want to make sure people understood what I wanted out of the people and what I wanted was best for them. And I wanted to make sure that other people knew what self knowledge was, and knowledge of self or know thyself. The same saying, just in order to get people to really want better for themselves in a situation, they have to have knowledge of self. And I wanted to chime in with William to give another perspective on the matter, because that is an important topic that I definitely plan to push when I get older, and now, as of now, and when I just make it as a comedian, I want to really push that, because that I feel like is you can call it a spiritual thing. It's no matter what you call it, it's liberating, and I want to liberate people, and I feel like that's the number one way to help make the world better, is the people to be self-aware and know themselves and love themselves. So that's all I wanted to say. Everybody, thank you for watching. Tune in for more videos coming up later on. I really appreciate y'all, man. One love.